morning to you. It is time to wake up well. It's the 18th of May. It's Monday morning. And so we are on Psalm 18 today. And I know many of the Psalms have a real range of emotions in them, don't they? There's often lament. There are people searching for questions. There's a sense of failure sometimes for the psalmist who's writing, and that kind of range of human emotions that we go through, questions and doubts and so on. Now, I found Psalm 18 a bit of a challenge on that one because it's actually very triumphant. This is King David, and he's singing a song of worship, but also of victory. It's gone right for him. His enemies have been defeated. God's on his side. It's all going well. And it's a very sure-footed psalm. And actually, I have to say, as I read it, I'm not sure that everybody feels like that this Monday morning. I don't think I often feel completely sure-footed and victorious in Christ every Monday morning. Don't know about you. And so, actually, we're going to concentrate on the middle section of the psalm. It's true that David attributes his victory to God. He's very clear on that as well. But let's have a look at the middle passage. So this is verse 26. It says this: "To the faithful you show yourself faithful. To those with integrity you show integrity. To the pure you show yourselves pure. But to the crooked you show yourself shrewd. You rescue the humble, but you humiliate the proud. You light a lamp for me. The Lord, my God, lights up my darkness. In your strength I can crush an army. With my God I can scale any wall. God's way is perfect. All the Lord's promises prove true. He is a shield for all who look to him for protection." And I think the key phrase in the middle here is "you show yourself." David says, to the faithful, you show yourself faithful. To those with integrity, you show integrity. To the pure, you show yourself pure. And it's quite similar, isn't it, to some of Jesus' teaching a few hundred years later. Jesus said, for those people who are faithful with a little, God will reward you. He will show himself to be faithful and pass more on to you, more responsibility, more opportunity, more kingdom fruit. He said it a different way, Jesus. He said, the measure that you use for other people, the Lord will use that same measure with you. He's talking about not judging people there and being careful. But it's this kind of principle, isn't it, of the psalmist is making this call. He's saying what you get in, what you get out, what you put in, kind of thing. If you want to live a life of victory, if you want to be victorious and so on and have a fantastic Monday morning, actually, by God's definition, you should be acting and living in a way consistent with God's values and God's rules and God's laws and God's hope and God's promise in our lives. You get out what you put in. And so there's a call from the psalmist to be faithful. There's a call to act with integrity. There's a call to be and remain pure. And in return, you see that principle of you reap what you have sown. So God will always be faithful towards you. And God will always show integrity towards you. And God will show you his purity and show you his self for those who remain pure themselves. And so actually what the psalmist says is that it is humility that unlocks the promises of God in our lives. You rescue the humble, but you humiliate the proud. It's humility that will unlock the promises of God in my life. And so, and he says that the alternative is true. If you're crooked, then I'll be shrewd towards you, says God. And so here's the promise, verse 30. God's way is perfect. All the Lord's promises prove true. He is a shield to all who look to him for protection. So today, let's just try to live faithfully. Today, let's live with integrity by God's ways and God's promises. Today, let's try to live a pure life and have a pure heart towards God and towards others and towards what I do with my time and my actions. And so the promise is this: he is a shield for all who look to him for protection. I bless you today.